got ourselves team 2 with Ornosh as the fire mage returning with Atherman, and we got us Alistar on that team. Kefir as a windwalker, and Copyfin putting all the pandas on one party versus team Kreiser as a Destro Warlock. We got ourselves Tasty as a Shaman with Whispermoon as a Shadow Priest. We have Anthrax as a look like Megatron over here, dude. Holy crap. And we got ourselves Menopause with Kreiser going to be first up as a Destro Warlock versus Copy. Oh goodness. Enhancement versus Destro. I am afraid for our Enhancement, boys. Not gonna lie. I'm actually so excited every time I see Enhancement win duels because they didn't used to. And Kreiser opening up with a fatty Chaos Bolt dash into a stun. That's going to be tricking out Copy with Soul Rod for Kreiser. And I think it was into Grounding Totem. Soul Rod actually missing Copy. Nice use of a Grounding Totem. Kreiser dropping down the big Elemental onto Copy. That's going to be a banish onto the Earth Elemental. Missing the stun with Kreiser going for a gateway, or port rather. Gateway being the big one with the 2 gates on the sides. It looks like the Infernal is actually going to get aggroed on the Earth Elemental, so that works out for Copyfin really, really well. Has the Kirin Totem down, just needs to find a way to slow Kreiser down a little bit and drop a Kirin Totem on him. Some biggie damage. There's going to be Kreiser looking for maybe a big port. Doesn't really get the blink that he needs to, but he's trying to run away from Copy. As he sees the Shaman is trying to set himself up some damage. Copy only used Ghost Wolf so far, hasn't used Ascendance yet, or Lust, so it could be pretty big. Kreiser probably has a Mortal Coil available very, very soon. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. Mortal Coil. Fear off of that Chaos Bolt. Copy did not really, wasn't able to drop a totem or anything in between of it. Second Chaos Bolt is going to slap him. But he's going to have to go for Healing Surge behind the pillar. And Kreiser making sure he has a good range away from Copy at a distance just so he can blast him with damage from afar. It's going to interrupt him as the Mortal Coil comes out though. Which is actually pretty good for him to cast Soul Rod and get that kick because that's a nature cast. Kreiser doesn't have a lot of nature casts outside of that. Copy trying to go for some big damage with Lust, but Kreiser is going to get the port away. So Copy turning attention onto the pet, at least trying to get some Maelstrom from the pet and get some recovery off it. Want to be able to take down the Succubus if possible. But he needs to find a way to lock down Kreiser somehow. Gotta be that Succubus CC. Every time Copy runs out, Kreiser is either porting or using Succubus C to stop him in his wake. And the Succubus CC continuously slowing Copy down. Not much he can really do about it. Warlocks all of a sudden this expansion became so mobile with that port, and he doesn't even have a gateway either. Going to be a Fear onto Copy, taking down the totem before it really becomes an issue. And Copy has Ghost Wolves coming back very, very soon, so you'll have some CDs coming up early here. Going to be dropping down the Kirin Totem, port available for Kreiser. He has to put the Kirin Totem next to Kreiser, but I think Kreiser actually going to eliminate that thing. I think that thing has no health. Ghost was up and running. Copy, so he's going to get some Maelstrom from this. And Kreiser just continuing to run. There's going to be Copy interrupting the Succubus CC, but he should have Succubus C available very, very soon. Kreiser with the the Fey Blinks. So not only does this Warlock has a port now, but also has a blink now on a 1.5 minute CD. Warlocks are super mobile now. Also, with the fears where they could just run the other person in the other direction, I count it as mobility in a way. Copy finally able to get a melee with Kreiser, but Kreiser slams him with a Shot of Fear into a Fear right after, and a Chaos Bolt to smack him in the side of the head. That's going to be Copy having to use a wall here. That's going to be Gateway for Kreiser, which doesn't knock up onto Copy, as he's just not going to be able to chase Kreiser at all. That is so unfortunate, dude. And Copy has to go for a bit, whatever Maelstrom he could generate off of the Succubus pet at this point if he can't catch up to Kreiser. What is that second Gateway? Does he go for 2 Gateway, does he go for a Gateway Legendary? Is that what we're playing out of Kreiser? Gateway Legendary? So you can just mobile out of there and get a knock up on people? That's going to be another Succubus C with an Infernal coming down. Copy is going to be under a lot of pressure. Does have the Kirin Totem, so it's going to give him a lot of extra healing. That's going to be Lust. Might just need to turn that Lust onto one of the pets immediately and go for as much self-heal as possible. Big heal for Copy. That's going to be able to top him off with that Earth Shield as well, as the Chaos Bolt was already loading itself up. And Copy still continues to use Lightning Bolts from a range. Probably not the best idea here. Needs to go for heals. Needs to put a Flame Shock on the Kreiser. And maybe if he can use some kind of a Stun Totem from range, he might be able to do something. Stun Totem from afar does clip him. It's going to be the capacity, the Kirin Totem as well. Should be some damage. Kreiser goes to the port to the other direction. Oh my god. So much mobility. And Copy is still surviving for now. Kreiser herself is lowest, but with the control that he has had, I mean, it's really difficult for him to feel like he's under a lot of pressure. One time Copy had a big Ascendance. That was like the big play. It's going to be really difficult to come back to. Copy does have Ghost Tools back up. He could use the Ghost Tools to do a lot of the damage and use Maelstroms to get a bunch of casted. Fear coming out. Copy, does he have anything for that Fear? Looks like he had a grounding totem down. He's going to have to go for self-heals. Chrysler is still coming back to health. The longer this duel is going on, the more damage he gets to the Copy, the more he keeps doing damage towards his shield. And with the shield that he has. The shield is capped out and he continues to burn to the shield, that turns into healing instead. So he's continuing to recover little by little as we are hitting the 7-minute mark. Drain life available is going to be an interrupt, but Copy, and Chrysler has the fort. As soon as he gets interrupted, can have mobility out of the wazoo. Into another Fear into Copy. Does Chrysler have a final go? Copy chooses Trinket, missing the Sunder onto Chrysler. That's going to be the gateway, knocking Copy up in the air. And he has a second gateway if he needs to. He has a second port if he needs to. Soul Rod onto Copy Fin right after. It's going to be an extra dot, and Chrysler going for all the insta-casts. And that's going to be that gateway yet again. Knock up into Copy as he got himself Dark Soul instability. I am surprised by the fact that Chrysler has so much mobility, but also the fact that Copy has this much survivability as well. Nice grounding for that Chaos Bolt. Copy went into the last second. Has wall back up. No Ghost Tools for a moment. Does have lust potentially. If he tremors it, Tremor was out for that. At least he tremored that one. He's going to get a Flame Shock onto Chrysler and needs to stay on him as best as possible. Probably going to be Succubus Seed to stop him any moment. Finally able to get into melee range. Succubus Seed stops him. And Chrysler is going to go for a stun right after into Cataclysm. Big damage together. And that's going to be a Trinket getting used. Copy, better watch out for his health. It's going to be Mortal Core running him in the other direction. Man, this duel's been going on. It's an 8-minute duel between a Desert Warlock and an Enhancement Shaman. And Copy Finn, he has Ascendants coming back very, very soon. So you might be able to make some of those Ascendants. Good stun on both the Chrysler as well as the pet. Sundering does connect. Chrysler actually feeling the pressure until the port is back up. Another Soul Rod trying to make a play, but decides against it. Decides to use the mobility to get range from Copy. Copy not interrupting the Soul Rod. He knows he needs the interrupts for later. Chrysler with that nasty, nasty mobility, getting the jungle form from the Soul Shape. And looks like maybe he wants to go for the Gateway. Doesn't take the Gateway just yet. There is a wall available for him. Does get a wall onto Fear onto Copy. Is he gonna go Gateway? He's standing next to it like he's about to. Mortal Core run Copy in the other direction as Copy trying to reposition the Kyrian Totem. And that goes there. Reflect. Copy is sending the Ghost Tools in. The Ghost Tools should do some damage. They might actually be able to do enough to put Chrysler under a lot of pressure. Ascendants together with this could be huge. Chrysler goes in for a new Succubus. Copy could go for a big Ascend. He could make the Ascend happen. The Wolves are still on him. As long as he has the Flame Shock and the Wolves doing work, that is quite a lot. I think Chrysler might be out of mobility here. If Copy goes in, drops down a grounding for the long CC that he needs to deal with, he might be A-okay, honestly. He might actually be able to come back. Chrysler, no Mortal Core for 10 seconds. He actually can't do much about it. Picking up the eye, the gateway comes out, and Copy, if he can somehow charge and be in the middle of those gateways to Chrysler, big Ascend into a Wind Strike could be huge. He's just trying to get himself as much Maelstrom as possible from the Succubus. I think he's trying to go for a big Zap Wombo combo play onto Chrysler with a big Ascend. I think that's what he's trying to go for. Mortal Core is available for Chrysler. Copy does he drop it to grounding. That's going to be actually Infernal. Sundering on to Chrysler. Does get the Mortal Core. Soul Rod is going to come out. Copy just might have to go for a big go here. Stun into Copy. Casbolt is going to hit him to the face. Does have a pre-wall ready. Ascendants come out. Chrysler does port away. If Copy can somehow reconnect, Chrysler goes out in the open. Maybe not the best spot. Wind Strikes are flying right now. And that's going to be Copy taking them out after 10 minutes. Duel between those two juggernauts. Copy survived. The healing was insane. And finally got himself a nice setup onto Chrysler. Chrysler had such a long duel, so much opportunity to score the win, and I guess Copy with the self heals behind the pillar. Like he thought he could just outlast the Enhancement Shaman. I feel like he needed to go for an actual go to nuke him. He was just trying to see him and control him the whole time. The Hunter was great. Which one of this is the Hunter, dude? I guess the Enhancement Shaman, right? Man. And somebody on Copy Fiend's team left because they were the first ones out too. Anthrax is going to be up next, the Optimus Prime over here, but somebody on team 2 did leave, so I guess it's, you know, 10-11 minutes into that duel, 2 people are now out, so now the rest of the people get a chance to play. Duels won't be super long, but the dampening is going to make it shorter too. And Copy is going to go for that Hex, first Hex of the game too, as you see as the Shield event is coming out from Anthrax. But Copy needs himself a good angle onto Anthrax, a good setup, and a good go. And he'll be in a great spot. Anthrax still has Bubble of Bop, no Trinket though, no Shield event is charged to Copy. Copy doesn't have a Trinket for this. Anthrax goes in for big damage, big Judgment's coming out. Copy, does he have the self heals? Sundering, and that's going to be Bubble out of the Paladin, and does take down Copy. before the Shaman can even get himself a heal, not having that Maelstrom. Yeah, it was supposed to. The Ghost was supposed to generate Maelstrom, but they can't do anything since, you know, Antrax is in a bubble. Oh, maybe they, no, I think Maelstrom, actually, I think Wolves do generate your Maelstrom naturally, not even if they don't hit the target. So even a bubble, I think they still would generate Maelstrom, but only 1 and 5 at the end of the run. And that's going to be big damage out of Alistair, taking down Optimus Prime. The big old hand as Frost DK got lots of damage. That's going to be a big old grip into Tasty. He knows that Tasty's going to be up next. Might as well use the hand while he got it. Trying to get a slow for a slow onto Tasty. Does he get the interrupt on the Stormkeeper? He does not. The AMS and AMZ comes out. Tasty knows he's either needs to burn through this both. You got to try to get a knockback into Alistair. Does get it off. That's going to be the Spirit Walker's Grace letting him move while casting. And that's going to be double zaps. He's got him low enough. Held those zaps until the very, very end, until he had him in a go. That's what he had to do. He waited. Just because you got the lightning in your hands doesn't mean you should use it immediately. And you waited until the big execute. It's going to be Atherman versus Tasty. Atherman playing a bit of a tune. Playing the harp. I kind of need to get the harp, dude. I need to get the harp as a toy. I don't know what that is. I don't know what he's doing there. Is that what happens when you play the harp and you transform into a mount? He just had banging, dude. At least this is what it looks like. Tasty dropping off a Hex with a stun to follow onto Ather. Will not be able to get a long lasso. Atherman playing Relentless as a human, so no more adaptation or none of that. I wonder why. We used to watch Atherman always play Adapt, and Adapt always give him a bit of a slight advantage in things. But I guess maybe Relentless is the play now, being human or whatnot. Going to be a nice blind onto Tasty. That's going to be Atherman dropping his minion, hold the abilities into Tasty into a Hydra right after. Tasty actually can't do much about it. Atherman getting knocked into a wall. That hammer is going to do lots of damage. Tasty does have a wall for this lightning lasso. The hammer does connect. Atherman does not sit that stun long at all. And takes out Tasty. Big burst, big damage, and Whisperman not giving Atherman a chance to recover, as we are at 53% dampening 13 minutes into this duel. Flash of lights are coming out back to back for Atho. And Whisper Moon is going to get a stun onto Atho pretty early here. Void Eruption available with Void Form up. Atherman trying to go, see, maybe he might be able to get a CC chain onto Whisper Moon with the port. Got himself another set of wings. Bubble still available if necessary. Mind Game is going to bubble it before he even hits him. With Flash of Light next. Massive Spell coming out. That's good. Whisper Moon actually dispelling it. With some Shadow Ments coming out. Both of them are having very, very little healing right now. 56% dampener is going to really dampen their heals. Except Whisper Moon apparently. He can apparently still get about 15% of his health back. Ashen Hollow coming out for Ather. He just kind of wants to sit in Ashen Hollow. That's going to give him healing and free damage to Whisper Moon. He's literally backpedaling out of it, trying to make sure he's right out of that range. And Ather just got so much range damage to Whisper Moon. That hammer could be huge. He's just trying to stay in Ashen so he can throw hammers. Because he can literally throw hammers from afar. He always gets hammers of wrath. Always. As long as he's in Ashen and he gets heals. And anybody inside of it gets damage. So it actually makes him like a ranged build. Which is kind of cool. Whisperman get interrupted. Only a little bit of damage needed for Atham. Whisperman got a stun. And that's going to be some heals. Blind if Atherman has any damage to follow this. Tempest Verdict, nice. Not breaking the, he's not breaking the blinds with auto attacks. He's just going for Tempest Verdicts. Interrupt into Whisperman. I think he's gonna have him here. One more hammer. As the fear comes out, the hammer is already midair. And Menopause is gonna be the last one left on this team one. As a Feral Druid rolling in with Atherman has a Blessing of Protection. Yeah, actually the Vengeance coming up very, very soon. And Wings is gonna be up very, very soon as well. And with Consecration is gonna make it harder for Menopause to get a proper opener. Is going to have Berserk ready at the beginning, so that's going to be pretty big shreds. And even the Rake should do the damage as if they were in stealth. So they won't do the stun, but they will do the damage. The Menopause is going to have himself big burst available. Better maximize it right now while he's got it. Caught himself a re-stealth. Maybe we'll get an opener onto Atho, who's hoping to get him out. This is going to be Consecration getting him out. Does not get the Skull Bash off the cast. Hodge onto Menopause. That's going to be immediate trick in bear form. And that's going to be Atherman actually bopping this. I don't know if you meant to bop or what. Maybe I felt like, you know what, I need to go as much damage as I can. I'm gonna bop whatever Bleach has got on me. Gonna be a Menopause bailing out. Atherman is a Fae, so be aware there might be a seed at the end of this. He might go into that regenerating seed. Atherman still got so much range damage on him. Trying to Doorway of Shadows that it's gonna get next to Menopause. Hitting him with the final verdict. The seed is out. Atherman does realize what's going on and should be able to take the seed down before he knows it. Unless, there we go. I feel like there's no way you're gonna not be able to take it out. And there it goes, Ather with them too, and Copyfiend did a lot of damage between lots. Look at that healing! Oh my god. Kryza did 525k damage, and Copyfiend healed 500. Jesus, the healing. Oh my god. Enhancement Shaman's a live lords now. I love it. I actually love it, man. Look at Pyro Mage Way. Those are hammers. I know, right? He's just basically hammering him, dude. He's just hammering him, man.